You're watching Revelation, the program with a biblical perspective.
To follow on from the previous program, we will now see part 2 of the 3-part series of Ian McCormack's testimony. The young man who was stung by the deadly box jellyfish, and he was pronounced dead by the hospital doctors. They tied a tag on his toe and placed him in the morgue. But he then found himself first in hell, and then later he was standing before the living God. Ian did not believe in either heaven or hell before this experience, but he now testifies about these places because God gave him his life back in order to encourage us that there is life after death, and there is a new heaven and a new earth which God has prepared for those who believe, just as promised in the Bible book of Revelation chapter 21. Be encouraged.
I thought, well, maybe there is a God. If there is, who is he? I've seen thousands of them. Everyone thinks their God's the right one. And when you're dying, you'd like to know who it is, you know. You don't want to back a loser. Not if you're a gambler.
No.
So I'm lying here thinking, I don't know. If there is a God, who could he possibly be? I lay there and said, God, I don't even know if you're real. I don't even know if you can hear me. But if you can, I'd have no idea what to pray. You know what I mean? Could you please help me to pray if you can hear me? As I lay there, words began to appear in front of my eyes. It said, forgive us our trespasses and sins. As I saw those words, I thought, how on earth could God forgive me? I mean, it's too late. You know what I mean? And I lay there and I thought, nah, God couldn't forgive me. I've done too many things wrong. I feel like a hypocrite even trying to ask that. My mother started saying in this vision, son, pray from your heart. I thought, from my heart is like stone. You could strike a match on it. I said, God, I don't know if you could forgive me. I don't even know if there's anything soft left in my heart. But if you can, I sincerely ask you to forgive me of all my sins. Please forgive me. As I said that, the words disappeared in front of me. More words appeared. Forgive those who have trespassed and sinned against you. I thought that means forgive other people. I could do that. I'm not a vindictive person by nature. God, I can forgive anyone, no worries. No matter what people have done to me, I forgive those that have sinned against me. As I said that, the face of the Indian taxi driver appeared in front of me. I thought, what on earth is this man doing here? The voice said, will you forgive this man for pushing you out of his taxi tonight and leaving you for dead on the side of the road? I thought, no, you must be joking. Not forgiving him. I mean, I was furious with that guy. And the next minute, the Chinese guy's face appeared in front of me. I thought, what on earth is he doing here? And the voice said, will you forgive this man for not taking you in his car tonight and leaving you to die in the hotel? I thought, no. As I saw both of these men's faces, I thought, who on earth is this voice? Who am I speaking to? Who's talking to me? These words, my mother called them the Lord's Prayer. Am I speaking to God or something? Is he actually talking to me? I lay there and thought, I don't want to forgive these men. I thought, man, this stuff could be real. I lay there almost like in a catch-22 situation. Part of me just wanted to deal out to them. I mean, I wanted to lay hands on those guys.
not in a theocratic way.
Yeah, not like the priest would do, you know, God bless you, my son. My hands are going up around his throat, man. Like, you have a problem breathing?
Yes.
Don't worry, man, be happy. You know what I mean? I strangled them. I mean, I'm lying here dying, and I've got two men's faces before me. So this is where the rubber meets the road. This couldn't be just some mumbo-jumbo Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy stuff. This could be real. I lay there and thought, God, I don't want to forgive them. But God, if you can forgive me of all the stuff I've done wrong in my life, and I don't know how you could do it, but if you can somehow forgive me for the people I've hurt, I'll forgive these men. I'll never touch them. I'll never lay my hands upon them. I let them go. Their faces instantly disappeared. Fresh words. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I thought, that's God's will. I've done my own will for 24 years. You know, I'm independent, self-sufficient. I said, God, I don't know your will, but it appears as only a miracle will spare my life at this point. God, if you are real and you can hear me, I give my will to you. I surrender my life to you. I will try and follow you all the days of my life. As if I come through this, as I prayed that, the entire Lord's Prayer appeared. You know, Our Father, which art in heaven. As I prayed it, I understood each letter. It's like I understood for the first time in my life that I was talking to God in this prayer. An amazing peace settled upon me, and I knew as best I knew how, should there be a God, you know what I mean, and he was real, I'd try to make peace with him. You know what I mean? And as I prayed that prayer, the ambulance seemed to stop. You ever been in a car accident where everything goes into like slow motion?
Yeah.
I felt like in that ambulance, time seemed to have stopped as my heart was dealt with before God. And I had no idea how pivotal that prayer was, how powerful that prayer, pray for my heart, would mean in the things that were going to take place next. No understanding, really, of how important that prayer was. As the ambulance stopped, they lifted me into the wheelchair, raced me through the accident emergency. First person saw me was a nurse. She pulled my sweatshirt up, tried to take my blood pressure. She pumped her machine up. I watched her look at her machine and shake it. I thought, what's wrong with it? She hit the top of it, turned to me, is like, there's something either wrong with you or the machine. Thought the machine must be broken, pulled it off my arm, pulled another blood pressure machine out, stuck it on my arm with the hoses, pumped it up, and then again hit the top of this one. Crouched down and started tapping the side glass where the mercury is supposed to move for the pressure with a fingernail. At this point, I can feel myself like in a third party, almost like I'm watching this going on. I knew this wasn't astral projection. I knew this wasn't some drug. This was death. I knew if I left my body, it was a one-way ticket. And I knew that I was so close to death that I couldn't even hear my heart beating. So I watched this nurse playing with the machines. I thought, I'm in serious trouble. My veins might have collapsed. The nurse just stared there blankly like I shouldn't be alive. The ambulance driver ripped it off my arm, pushed it to one side and raced me towards the doctors. He knew I was in trouble. As the ambulance driver raced me towards the doctors, the first doctor didn't even look at me. He's got his head down and went, "Quel âge est-il? Où la habite?" In French, he's asking me how old I am and where I live. And I'm thinking, well, hurry up and look at me, son. Otherwise, I'm not going to be here. Who cares about my address? I'm gone. As he looked up, I thought he speaks French. Perhaps he's not good in his English. I looked at the older doctor to his left. He wasn't looking at me either. He stared up because there was such a silence in the room. As he looked into me, I locked onto his eyes and said, "Sir, I am nearly dead. I've been stung by 5 envisage jellyfish. I need antitoxins now. I'm nearly dead." The nurse came sprinting in past me with her blood pressure results, passed them to the old doctor. He saw them, and whatever he saw caused the entire accident emergency to come to life. You ever been in an accident emergency? I mean, you have to be serious before someone moves in there. As I watched these men run, I watched people appear from nowhere with drip feeds and syringes. Suddenly they started shoving needles into me. The doctor saying, "Come on, son, keep your eyes open. We're going to try and save your life. Antitoxins for the poison, drip feed, dextrose for the dehydration, sugar solution. Come on, son." They had a smash in my hand, lifting my skin up, and stuck a syringe between my second and third finger. I had no idea what they were doing to begin with. Then I saw my veins start to bubble out, and I realised they were looking for a vein, which had collapsed. As they hit the vein, the nurse was so nervous her needle was bouncing from side to side. My vein came up to about here, full of fluid, didn't seem to be moving. I watched this nurse manually try and massage it up my forearm. To no avail. It seemed to be rolling off a thumb and forefinger. I thought, man, my veins have collapsed. I'm in trouble here. But I'm lying there thinking, this is not going to take me out. I've been in enough sessions over the years. I'm going to stay here and snap the back of this. It's not going to take me down. And I used every ounce of strength I could to keep my eyes open. But with this perspiration coming in, couldn't see properly. My lips wouldn't respond. So I tried to lift my arms up to clear my eyes, and so I could see properly. Both arms are now totally paralysed, they wouldn't move. I thought, no. I tried to tilt my head to the right or the left, thinking if I can move it enough, it'll get my eye clear so I can continue to see. My neck wouldn't respond. The paralysis set into my neck. And I'm in serious trouble. I can now try and squeeze my eye